Hello, I'm Jamie, and I want to share with you the introduction from my new book, Montessori for Grown-ups. Montessori for Grown-ups invites readers on a transformative journey that applies the principles of Montessori education to the complexities of adult life. Drawing inspiration from Maria Montessori's groundbreaking philosophy, this book explores how adults can embrace self discovery, promote personal growth, and cultivate a fulfilling life by integrating Montessori concepts into their everyday experiences. Let's begin. Montessori wrote, "We have lost this deep and vital sensitivity, and in the presence of children in whom we see it reviving, we feel as if we were watching a mystery unfold. It shows itself in the delicate act of free choice, which a teacher untrained in observation can trample on before she even discerns it, much as an elephant tramples the budding flower about to blossom in its path." Montessori begins with a hard truth. Adults have lost something essential. As we grow older, we develop what we call maturity, but in doing so, we often become numb to the petite, subtle beauties of life. The deep and vital sensitivity she refers to is a state of attunement, a sensitivity to our environment, our choices, and our inner world. Children possess it naturally. They notice the glint of sunlight on a raindrop, the sound of a distant bird, and the rhythm of their breath. Their attention is precise and present. However, adults are too distracted and preoccupied with goals, deadlines, and routines to experience life this way. Part of what makes this loss so profound is that it's not irreversible. Instead, Montessori suggests that being in the presence of children can remind us of what we've forgotten. Watching children choose with focus and joy stirs something in us, a distant memory of a more intentional, grounded way of being. Children, by their very nature, remind us of what it means to be fully present. It's moving to see a child in deep concentration, stacking blocks, tying their shoes, or watching ants on a trail. We're more than seeing their wonder. We're seeing a glimpse of our own wonder that we've lost. Montessori tells us this deep and vital sensitivity is not gone forever. It's still within us, and children can help us recover it. In the presence of children in whom we see it reviving, we feel as if we were watching a mystery unfold. This line captures the experience of accurately observing a child at work. Something extraordinary happens when a child engages deeply in purposeful activity, like carefully pouring water, threading beads, or matching colors. They move slowly, intentionally, and with an almost sacred intensity. Montessori describes this moment as watching a mystery unfold. The choice of words here is significant. A mystery implies something unknowable, something more significant than logic or intellect. It suggests that there is more happening than meets the eye. This moment feels sacred because, for a brief moment, we see the invisible process of human development happening right before us. It's more than the child practicing a skill, it's the child becoming. Montessori emphasized observation as a central practice for teachers. When we slow down and watch children in this state of flow, we realize that we do not control or impose development. It's a process that unfolds naturally from within the child. Montessori says this process is mysterious because it's self-directed. We can guide, prepare, and nurture the environment, but cannot make a child grow. We are simply witnesses to it. The word unfold is also essential. It evokes the image of something slowly opening, like a flower, a scroll, or a story. It's not an instant transformation. It's gradual, layered, and requires patience. Watching a child grow isn't like flipping a switch. It's more like watching the sunrise, a slow, steady, but inevitable process that fills the sky with light. It shows itself in the delicate act of free choice. This phrase is the heart of the quote. Montessori argues that a child's free choice is the most explicit expression of their deep and vital sensitivity. When a child selects an activity freely, not forced by adults, not manipulated by rewards or punishments, something remarkable happens. They are no longer acting from compulsion or compliance. They act from within, where concentration, joy, and growth occur. The word delicate matters here too. Free choice is fragile. It requires an environment of trust and respect. When a child is constantly interrupted, don't do it like that. Hurry up. No, try this instead. Their sense of free choice shatters. Their will subordinates to the will of the adult. Montessori believed that this sense of autonomy, this ability to make free choices, is fundamental to human development. Without it, the child becomes passive, dependent, and disconnected from their internal drive. But with it, they become active, independent, and engaged. Montessori classrooms integrate so much freedom of movement and choice. It's not free play in the way people often imagine, it's freedom with purpose. The child isn't randomly jumping from one task to another. They are making choices, following their interests, and in doing so, they are building the self. Montessori's belief in free choice wasn't just a nice idea, it was an act of profound faith in the child's capacity to grow, which a teacher untrained in observation can trample on before she even discerns it, much as an elephant tramples the budding flower about to blossom in its path. This final image is striking, vivid, and unforgettable. It's also Montessori's sharpest warning to teachers, parents, and anyone responsible for children. The budding flower symbolizes the child's internal growth, fragile, tender, and full of potential. The elephant represents the untrained teacher or adult who inadvertently crushes that potential in their rush to help the child. Montessori reminds adults to be careful. The child's free choice is precious, delicate, and essential to their development. If we interfere too much, correcting, rushing, or demanding compliance, we crush the very process we're trying to nurture. It's not that adults mean to harm the child. The elephant doesn't intend to crush the flower. It's simply unaware of what it's doing. Montessori believed adults needed to train themselves to see with new eyes, to notice the small moments of free choice and self-direction children express daily. Without this skill, adults act like the elephant, trampling growth before it can blossom. We do this every time we interrupt a child at work. Time's up, let's move on. Every time we correct their play, that's not how you do it. And every time we impose our agenda on them. Montessori's image of the elephant trampling the flower is powerful because it shows us how easy it is to destroy something beautiful and delicate without realizing it. Her call to teachers and parents is to cultivate humility, patience, and reverence. She reminds us to pause before we act, to watch, to listen, and trust that the child knows what they need to grow. The elephants of the adult world are different. Headaches, traffic, deadlines, endless notifications, and the constant pull of more, faster, now. Unfortunately, these are necessary parts of adult life. But how can we keep the elephants from trampling us? How can we stay awake and sensitive to the deep and vital parts of our lives that make life feel alive? And what about the elephants inside us? These aren't physical obstacles like traffic or deadlines. They're the mental patterns that form in response to them: perfectionism, self doubt, anxiety, and the constant voice telling us that we're not enough unless we're doing more. These inner elephants are often shaped by childhood experiences, societal pressures, and years of operating in systems that reward productivity over presence. The first step is to recognize the elephants for what they are: distractions, not destinations. Elephants march through our days demanding attention, but they aren't the point of our lives. They're noise, not melody. They stomp and trumpet, but if we can see them clearly, we realize that not every elephant requires our obedience. Some of them only have as much power as we give them. Traffic will still move, the deadline will still come, the inbox will still fill, but the way we respond to them is where our power lies. Maria Montessori spoke of deep and vital sensitivity, a kind of alertness that allows us to see past the noise and tune into the essence of life. It's the same sensitivity that children possess so naturally. Watch a child, and you'll see it in action. They're not worried about the elephant, about what's next or what's urgent. They're present. They notice the color of the leaves, the shape of the shadows on the wall, and the satisfying snap of a lid fitting onto a container. Their world is rich with texture and detail, and they are awake to it all. Children don't wait for the right moment to experience joy. They find it in the moment that's already here. But adults, we live in constant elephant avoidance mode. We try to dodge them, chase them, or tame them. We rush from one task to another, thinking that if we can handle all the elephants, we'll have time to rest, play, and be present. But the problem is, the elephants never stop coming. There's always another deadline, inconvenience, and mess to clean up. If we wait for life to calm down, we'll wait forever. Montessori's concept of sensitivity is so crucial. It teaches us to notice the world in this moment, not after the elephants leave, but while they're still here. The delicate act of free choice that Montessori spoke about isn't just for children, it's for us too. Every moment we have a choice. Will we let the elephants decide where our attention goes, or will we notice the untrampled flowers at our feet, the moments of beauty, grace, and connection that are always waiting to be seen? This is not a one-time choice. It's a daily, hourly, sometimes minute-by-minute choice. Elephants will always march through our lives, but our task isn't to fight them or tame them. It's to stay awake, remain sensitive, and honor the parts of life that don't demand attention but quietly deserve it. So, that's end of the introduction. If you feel like you could use some help managing the elephants in your life that trample through moments of potential, follow the link in the description and pick up a copy of this book. Montessori for Grown-ups explores how to protect your attention and why it's so important, how to embrace boundaries as self-care, how following your passions and finding your purpose are inextricably entwined, and more. The link is in the description. Thanks for listening,